So this year we've done some different things with the garden. We started out by adding 40 yards approximately of mushroom compost to give the soil an amendment that it needs so that it will hold the moisture better and have better nutrients in the soil. But here in front of us we've got peas that are nicely in bloom. You can see we've got some pods coming. So I would say by the end of the week we'll probably be picking peas. And I've got a couple rows of radishes. They're doing really good at growing tops. Not getting much of a bottom on them yet, but they are growing. And then I've got rutabaga, a couple rows of rutabaga, and red skin potatoes. And you can see down here in between, I've got I think you can see that, yeah. Got a poly hose drip line that comes on a couple times a day. So they are getting fed nicely and watered every day. And then back here, we've got green beans. Here's 10 rows, 5 double rows of green beans. And they're starting to blossom nicely. So we should have a harvest of beans in probably 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks. And here we've got our zucchini squash. I know it looks like a lot. However, we'll either sell it or give it away, whatever we don't use. But it's about as nice a zucchini as I've ever grown. We set our hydroponics back up here this year. I've got about a 25 gallon reservoir there that I keep filled up with nutrients. It goes through the filter, through this 1/2-inch line here, and then it gets distributed to each of the buckets. On this end, I've got 6 green bell pepper plants, and the rest of them are big boy tomatoes. And I kind of missed my window this year of getting my own seeds started. So we ended up going to the farm store and picking up our plants. We just washed the roots off, got all the dirt and peat off as we bought them. And then from there, we just stuck them in the clay pebbles. And then, I don't know if you can see, but you've got a 1/4-inch hose going down in there. So it keeps the roots moist, and then as it drains down into the bucket, then into that red PEX hose, and then returns back to the reservoir. And then you can see I've got these bobbins up here that are strung out to hold the tomato plants up. And the last thing I've got to do is get some black plastic wrapped around these buckets so that we don't have the algae problem like we did last year. It's already started, but I can probably mitigate it, clean the buckets out a little bit, and then wrap it in black plastic, and then that'll keep the algae from growing. But if I can lift this up so you can see what's going on down in here, that's the root system. Just absolutely amazing. This is, I think it's like 3.5 weeks that we planted these. And they were about 3 inches tall when we planted them. So down here, I'm about to plant 12 more buckets with cucumbers and some indigo black cherry tomatoes. And that's the garden. Any questions? Message me.